God, by his power, not only created the universe, but he preserves it and governs it, meaning he has put the laws of physics, the laws of chemistry, the laws of gravity, magnetism, the strong force, the weak force, those things that govern the universe are manifest proof of God's existence. Because the fact is, if you don't affirm the existence of God, the very best minds from the world of unbelief, like Bertrand Russell and many others, have pointed out, yeah, we really have no reason to believe that the future will resemble the past in terms of those law-like characteristics. Now, everybody proceeds on the expectation that they will. Everyone lives their lives as though the laws of nature and physics, chemistry, math will continue to be exactly what they were in the past, but only the Christian world and life view can give a rational justification for why. And it is this: God created, God preserves, God governs the universe. Now, I'll never forget reading Bertrand Russell in his little book, Problems in Philosophy. He says, "We have yet, therefore, still to seek for some principle that shall enable us to believe the future will be like the past in terms of its law-like characteristics." And of course, I'm a Christian. I know that it will, because God created it. And God created man in his image, and God gave man the task of subduing the created order and taking dominion over it, which is why we do science and why we can study the universe, and we know that the future will resemble the past. What's ironic, what's so strange about people like Bertrand Russell and other atheists and unbelievers, although their worldview in principle makes science impossible to do or justify, they just keep right on doing it, even though their worldview, if true, would render it impossible. Well, the whole history of philosophy, the whole history of man and the world is an argument for the existence of the one true and living God. God created the universe, God preserves it, God governs it. Romans 1:20, "For since the creation of the world, his invisible attributes are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. Because although they knew God, they did not glorify him as God, nor were thankful, but became futile in their thoughts, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Professing to be wise," oh yes, the unbelievers of the world profess great wisdom and great learning. "Professing to be wise, they became fools, and changed the glory of the incorruptible God into an image made like corruptible man, and birds, and four-footed animals, and creeping things." And that's why the passage goes on, "God, therefore, since man wants nothing to do with God, and wants to suppress the truth, and wants to try to live as if God's not there, God says, okay, go ahead. I'll give you over to all of your gross desires and perversions and lusts, and let's see how that goes." And man has been very, very efficient, very good at creating misery, totalitarianism, suffering, poverty, disease. It's when we follow Christ, when we are reconciled to the one true God who actually does exist, the God that created us, against whom we are in rebellion. Only when we're reconciled to him do we find our true place in the world, and that is to be sons and daughters of God, adopted into his family by the work of Christ, and to worship him and to glorify him by living in accordance with his will.